Oh, and we're live. There we go.
All right.
Woo.
Cool.
Yeah, we're here.
What's
We
up,
made.
Paul?
Oh, it's another week, gone by. I've been watching so much like television stuff, and I mean, you'll
Yeah.
see that
What? Dive into it.
it cut into my what did you play this week? Because the answer is everything else that isn't games, essentially.
Okay. All right.
Hawkeye started up again, so that was one thing that I watched when that came out, and I have tonight after this I have to watch the third episode.
Okay, I'm right where you are. I haven't watched the third one. I hear the third one is pretty good.
Sure. I really enjoy it, actually. I'm having a good time with the first two episodes so far. Like, it's nothing special or crazy, but I really I like Kate Bishop as a character. I like Haley Steinfeld, as a young actress. I think it's a great match, and I like her with Clint doing just like one excited, like, younger character and one just like beat up, just like I'm just sick of this shit older character. It just works well. I like their dynamic.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. I liked how they're kind of playing off each other. I think Clint does a really good, or I think Jeremy Renner
Yeah.
does a really good. Like, I'm so tired of this.
I'm tired.
I just like,
Yeah.
and he has a really good line in. I think it's the second one when he's about to do the LARP, where he just says to himself real quickly, like, "Fought Thanos."
Yeah.
Like he just has to remind himself that he's done like cool shit.
Yeah. The play in the first episode is phenomenal. Rogers the musical.
Rogers the musical. Honestly, I'm surprised that's not a real thing.
Yeah, that
This
song
point.
is a thing. Like, that full song is on YouTube, and I listened to it. I
Oh,
was
is
just
it?
like, yeah, this is pretty great. I would watch this. I kind of
Um,
I was hoping kind of that it would be, and I just didn't know about it. But yeah, there isn't.
we should quickly say, for those watching, John is out sick today.
Yeah.
So best wishes to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm actually surprised that you were into Hawkeye. I thought you weren't going to like it. I think it's actually probably my least favorite of the four Marvel movies we've had. Not movies, shows
Goes.
we've had now. But I think it's just because the other ones, specifically WandaVision and Loki, had like big mysteries that I was really interested in.
Yeah. This one definitely doesn't feel like, well, maybe by the end, because we're still very, very early, but it definitely doesn't feel like there's going to be just like a big setup for anything yet.
Apparently, episode 3 starts setting some stuff up. A friend of mine was saying.
Makes sense. I like this way more than Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, without a doubt, like, way better than that so far.
I like Falcon and Winter Soldier more. If I had to rank him, it'd probably be like Loki, Wanda, Falcon, and then this so far. But you're all right. We're early into this one. What I really like is that this is set at Christmas time, and it's like I'm just
Sure.
in a mood to watch some Christmas media. Like hell
Sure.
yeah, let's go.
Sure, makes sense. Yeah. I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm honestly just more excited to see Jeremy Renner and Haley Steinfeld play off each other more, because I think their dynamic is fantastic.
Yep. I'm looking forward to more of that. I'm just gonna say, because we just mentioned Christmas shows and whatnot. This is the perfect time to mention our next TBP episode. If for those who might be interested in, is our Christmas special episode, which will be coming out this Monday. Do you want to say what we're going to be talking about?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's we each chose a Christmas movie that is like either from our past or like signifies Christmas, like an important movie to us in some way. I will say it's been a while since I've seen mine, so I'm excited to revisit it.
I watched it today. I had it kind of on in the background while I was
Oh,
working.
okay. Sure.
It had also been at least a decade since I had watched it, but you picked Jingle All the Way.
I picked Jingle All the Way. Yep. And you picked Klaus. Whatever.
Klaus.
Klaus.
Yeah. So for those for any people interested in watching stuff beforehand, Jingle All the Way is, you can watch it on YouTube. It is free. And Klaus is also on Netflix, so watch that. And then this Monday we'll have the Christmas episode going up.
I'm excited about it because I was gonna watch them this week and just be like, okay, this weekend we'll talk about it. I'll like get my rewatch it one of them, and I haven't seen Klaus at all, so that'll be my first time seeing that.
Love Klaus. It's so good. You are in for it. It's so good.
And so we were gonna do that this week, but I was like, no, I kind of want to have like a day where I just kind of sit and enjoy it. So Saturday we have plans to like, that's the day we're gonna be putting up the Christmas decorations, put those on, like have some hot chocolate. That'll be the like, this is the Christmas day today.
Yo, nice.
Yeah, so that's the plan right now. I'm excited.
That's cool. I wanted to mention my last weekend because I haven't talked about this on the show yet. So I was down in Southern California for the Thanksgiving weekend.
Right, yeah.
And I'd heard beforehand of a store called Frankensons. It is just outside of LA.
Okay, yeah.
Specifically, it's in a city called City of Industry. And for those who have never heard of this, and I hadn't heard about it until about a week beforehand, and then I was listening to a podcast, they mentioned this store, and I was like, well, I'm going to be somewhat near there. I should go check it out. Picture a Costco, like literally Costco size.
Okay.
But instead of like groceries and such in there, it is just collectibles and toys.
That's crazy.
It literally looks like a comic convention, like a
warehouse or something.
Yeah, sorry, no, like the market,
okay,
part of a comic convention. It basically looks like that, and this is open all year round.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Okay,
you can go to it whenever you want. I think it's only open a few days a week. But people buy booths and they sit up there all year round, and it's basically like when a convention comes into town, and there's a ton of conventions in LA, they kind of move their stuff to the convention, but this is like their full-time thing.
Right. I think you posted
vendor
pictures
area.
here of there.
Someone in the chat said vendor area. That's exactly what it's called.
Yeah.
Every second stall had Funko Pops. I could have done without that, but a lot of Funko Pops. Every second stall was selling Pokemon cards. Honestly, if there's a thing you can collect, there was a booth for it. Baseball cards, Hot Wheels cars. We found a horror shop in there. That was just 80s horror, and we bought a DVD because we're like, let's try and find the like silliest 80s cheesy horror movie that's cheap, and we'll buy it, and we'll invite some friends over to watch it, and that's what we're actually going to do this weekend.
Okay.
We bought. I want to make sure I get the name of it right.
Okay.
It is from 1989.
Okay.
It's called Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
Okay.
It was like $8 on DVD, and we're like, this sounds ridiculous. Let's buy this. We're gonna watch it with some friends this weekend.
Cool.
But yeah, this place was nuts. Game collectible stuff. It was also part like around the walls. They've had things. I don't know if they've been donated or if the owners have just bought it, but there's like kind of display cases. So there was a whole display case for McDonald's land related collectibles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
There was a whole wall of NASCAR race suits that are McDonald's themed.
Sure.
Just like weird memorabilia stuff all throughout this entire place. It was crazy. If anyone is ever in the LA area and you've got, I don't know, a solid half a day, we spent probably 2 hours walking through this warehouse. The store again is called Frankensons. Highly recommend it. It's a good time. And, they have like concession stands and stuff. So they have food as well, which is good, but fully like Costco sized. It's pretty ridiculous.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds awesome. It sounds like very cool. A dangerous place to be if you are a collector.
For sure. And I will say, like, in terms of the prices, it's more expensive than you'd find like on eBay.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
But I feel like that, you're kind of partially paying for the like you're able to like touch it and stuff. And I feel like that's pretty typical. Like if you're going to buy something at a convention as well, you're not going to get great deals at a convention.
Yeah.
Especially if you include like the cost of getting into the convention. Like, well, I paid $60 to even come here and look at your thing so I can buy it, yada, yada. So.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was pretty cool. Um, anything else you watched this week you wanted to mention?
Yeah, I watched a whole lot of stuff, but I won't talk at length of them here because I've done a whole bunch of different podcasts on it. I watched Hellbound. I did 2 podcasts on that.
Okay.
I watched Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, and I talked basically to myself for an hour about that.
It's the movie, right?
That's the movie that came out, yeah.
I've heard nothing but absolute dumpster fire things about this thing.
It's absolutely fucking terrible. If you want to hear exactly why, I talked for about an hour and some about it.
Okay.
I watched through Arcane, the League of Legends show. Phenomenal. Really good.
Okay, that's what I've been hearing. I've watched the first episode, and it hasn't done much for me yet, but I keep hearing just incredible things, so...
I feel like it was slower to start than I thought because I've heard nothing but like amazing things about that show, and I felt like it didn't start picking up until maybe the end of episode 2, the beginning of episode 3, and things start rolling a little bit more.
Okay. Well, I have some plane and car trips coming up at the end of next week, so that's what I plan to download and watch.
Yeah.
Along with the new season of The Expanse.
Yeah, nice. Also, there's a show on Netflix called School of Chocolate, which I binged in a day. It's great. It's really good.
My girlfriend's been watching that every single day.
It's so good. It's like legitimately really, really good. I'm not huge on the like... Well, I guess I can't say that. So this is, I think, the first reality show type thing I've watched that was made for a streaming service. The thing I don't like about those generally is the weird breaks where they have to put in a commercial and then like a 5-minute recap after every single break of what happened, and the like, oh my god, what happened, cut to commercial, like to get you hooked in. And none of that's in this because like they knew that it's a series that
or it's going to be on streaming. It's not going to be on cable or whatever.
Yeah, so it's not like cut every 10 minutes with like somebody yelling at somebody else or something. It's like extremely chill. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really, really cool. It's a good watch. Especially maybe if you like really like reality shows, maybe it's like slower, like kind of pointless feeling to you because the stakes aren't that high. But for me, like it was just kind of cool seeing a bunch of people do weird shit with candies and chocolate and sugar and stuff like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think this is another great time to plug TBP, just specifically because 3 episodes from now, Paul and I will be doing our movies and TV shows of the year, where we'll like deep dive into some of our best stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned for the end of the year show.
That'll be fun.
We make lists and categories and stuff, and we're already planning that kind of stuff.
I'll even throw this out there. If you have some ideas of like stuff you want us to talk about in recapping the year and that stuff, like we're kind of throwing this together. So throw ideas in, send those in.
Sure.
So we can mull them over.
And we already mentioned the other 2. The episode that's going to be in between these December episodes is Spider-Man.
Which is like the thing I've been waiting for like years now.
Hype levels are super high. So anyways, those are the next 3 TBP episodes for those interested. So
yeah.
But we're not here to talk about TV. We've spent 15 minutes doing that. We're here to talk about video games because this is the top-down perspective.
Right.
And it's December 2nd, the last month of the year.
Yeah.
There's a brand new COVID variant. For those listening 10 years in the future, back at this episode, that's where we're at.
And for those out there right now trying to catch them all, there's a new one for you.
Oh God, no, that's terrible. I'm flying home next week, and they're already changing flight stuff again on me. Like, I feel like I'm spinning plates here, just trying to be like, can you just hold off for like an extra week? Come on, this is hard enough.
It's doing a lot of weird, like they're saying we're maybe looking at another closure up here. It's doing some crazy shit for sure. But yeah.
And I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck. Once again, John is out sick for anybody just joining.
Yeah, John is sick this week, so. Paul, did you play anything?
I mean, I started Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not far enough in to really say anything definitive about it, except, like, I did the opening mission, which is kind of the we're gonna introduce you to your team and kind of like the basic mechanics that you're
Did you
going to be
finish
doing.
chapter 1?
Yeah, I got to the end of that.
I like that whole chapter.
It's great.
I think
Yeah,
it's a great intro.
yeah, it's really, really good. I'll have more to say about it at some point, but the banter between everybody is great. It's exactly what like I assumed it would probably be like. The combat is okay. I think it'll get better once I start unlocking more stuff for the different people, because it's like very bare bones, obviously, right at the beginning, but it seems like it has some cool ideas going forward. I like it.
Yeah, I like the whole like momentum based
Yeah.
reward system. So
Also, I spent a
good.
long time listening to Star-Lord's album at the beginning.
Oh really? I actually. So did you turn off this like streamer, or I guess turned on the streamer mode?
No.
Oh, okay.
Are you listening to other music if you... At the very beginning, like, it's like a flashback and you're like chilling out as a kid listening to Star-Lord?
That one is Starlight. No,
Okay,
you're right.
that's where I
Throughout
was
the
just
game,
sitting
though,
there.
I'm hearing like real life '80s stuff. And
Totally.
I guess it's every time you do a flashback, because you'll keep flashing back to his past.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
always Star-Lord, which would make sense because
Yeah.
you know those songs wouldn't have been like written, or they're like just written or whatever.
Totally, yeah. Yeah. There is a lot of 80s songs in there. Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's cool, though. I don't have
the Game Award nominated soundtrack.
I gotta play more of it. I think it might have somewhere in my top 10, depending what else is in there. I haven't really put it together yet, but it's pretty good. We'll see.
Yeah, I've also been playing some more of that. I'm on chapter like 6 or 7. I can't remember if I just finished 6 or not. So I'm not too much further.
Cool.
This week I got deep into Death's Door.
Okay, nice.
I think this game is fantastic.
It's one of my favorite games for sure.
It's very good. For those who don't know, Death's Door is a Zelda-like. You're moving around these different biomes. You get a new like ability, whether it's a bomb or a hook shot. Then you go back and you run through all the biomes again, because now you can open up all these extra doors and get what is the equivalent of heart containers.
Yeah.
I think the look of it's pretty good. You're a crow with a
Yep.
glowing sword, which is nice. And the whole kind of overworld when you're in the Hall of Doors is all like black and white. And then as you go into the different biomes, they actually have color and whatnot. All the characters you run across are pretty enjoyable. There's this gravedigger dude who's enjoyable. There's a guy with a pot for a head, and that's pretty funny. I like pretty much every one of the characters. It's surprisingly, like, it's not a very humorous game, but there's like bits and pieces of jokes in there that are like hit just the kind of right amount that you'd expect. Similar to like a Zelda, when there there'll be offhand little jokes from weird characters and stuff like that.
Totally. Yep.
I think one of the like shining lights though of this game is the soundtrack and its music. The music is
very
great. Battle themes and stuff, and I absolutely love when you are unlocking the new abilities and you have to do a fight, and it's like you like fall into the room or whatever, and it says like Avaris, big letters up on the screen, and then you have this battle and the music's kicking, and it's so good. And I love every time you get hit, the music just like warps to a halt, and then like it almost sounds like a record scratch, and then you hear the record like slowly spin up again back to the correct speed and stuff. Just a really good game. And, I'm in a position right now where I'm playing a ton of stuff and trying to wrap as much as I can up and play as much before I start doing all these game of the year lists.
Yeah.
For work and for the podcast and yada yada. And typically I wouldn't be like going back and like finding everything, but literally every time I get a new ability, I'm like, all right, I'm running through the whole game again.
Yeah.
But like to its credit, like it's not a super huge area, so that's totally manageable. And there's so many little warp points to get around, and the game's level design is so smart. You're constantly like opening a new ladder so that you can just like bypass the whole section you did. So like maneuvering through this world is like it's totally comfortable to do that, and that's great. So
totally. Yep.
So that's Death's Door. I've finished 2 of the bosses, so I'm climbing the mountain now.
Did you talk to the chef guy? The cephalopod chef dude?
For his soup?
Yeah. That's so good.
Yes, I think that's a great character,
Yeah.
and he's like pretending to be a human.
Like,
Make
let
you
me
some
just
soup
make
with
you
my human fingers.
Yeah, exactly. It's so good. That part's great.
Yeah, that was pretty enjoyable. Jefferson, that's his character's
Jefferson.
name.
That's right.
Yeah. And then apart from that, I picked up a few games on the Switch's Black Friday sale.
Okay.
Getting the OLED has kind of reignited an interest in using my Switch. So I
Yeah,
picked up a
makes
game I've been
sense.
waiting to play for a while called Disc Room. This came out in 2020.
Yeah.
And it's basically like, I don't know, the floor is lava. It's like pacifism mode. It's pretty much pacifism mode from Geometry Wars 2. You're a little spaceman dude in a series of rooms where buzz saws are just flying around, and your goal is survive as long as you can.
Right.
It's a top-down perspective.
Oh,
Take a drink.
take a drink.
And they just time you, and each room will have a certain number of exits, and there'll be a goal to unlock each exit. So one can be like survive in the room for 10 seconds, you'll get through this door. If you can survive in the room for a minute, we'll open up this other door. So there's definitely reasons to like go back and try again. Some of the objectives are like in this one biome, survive a total of 3 minutes. So then you got to go to like, okay, and I need everything to equal up. So it's kind of like an all, the tide rises all ships. What's my worst one? Okay, I'll work on that one. Or it's like you need to have 6 stages in this biome where you've hit 20 seconds at least. So then you got to kind of work together and go back and replay them and stuff. And it gets really interesting because it's not just buzzsaws that are moving around. Some of them can like slow down and then dart forward. Other ones will shoot other buzzsaws out from them. There's rooms where only if you're standing in like the middle, like I don't know, 30% of the stage will the timer go up. So you could dodge around a bunch if you want, but you got to keep returning to that middle section. Really smart, really snappy. It's such a pick up and play game because it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna play this for literally 15 seconds because anything past that, it's gonna be pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
And then they give you abilities like you have a dash, or you have one where you slow down time, and that both of those are super useful. So extremely good game. That's Disc Room. It's on the eShop. I think it's also on Steam. Big thumbs up for that game. So I'm looking forward to playing a bunch more of that.
Yeah, it is on Steam. I've been meaning to check that one out.
It's really good. I would recommend it for sure.
Devolver. Good stuff.
And it is a Devolver one, so like there you go. What else do you need to hear?
Right.
And then I'm just still playing a whole bunch of Halo.
Okay. Yeah. Are you ready for campaign though by this point?
I'm looking forward to it. It seems crazy to me that campaign comes out on Wednesday.
Yeah.
It almost feels like that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I'm already like this multiplayer alone is like a complete product. I was happy with what I got. I was already planning to keep playing more. I bought the battle pass, yada yada, and now I get the campaign, which past Sean, that's the only thing I would have cared about at all. But I'm having enough fun with just the multiplayer. Like this is great. It does come out like 2 days before I head up north and then go to the mountains for 5 days. So I'm not going to get to play much for a couple of weeks, unfortunately. But I am looking forward to getting into that. I've been hearing nothing but really great things from the previews that people are talking about.
Cool.
Oh, and then one last thing, I forgot to write this down. Outriders had a new expansion, an update called New Horizons.
Right, yeah. So you went back in?
I went back and they added 4 new expeditions.
Okay.
So I've just been playing through those. I haven't played the last one yet. But just reminded, like, I just really enjoy playing Outriders, like playing as the trickster and like slowing down time and like warping behind people, and that is just a good feeling and good sounding game. Easily one of like my favorite co-op times of the year. Like it's very similar to Borderlands, and I love playing Borderlands in co-op, so it's just, it's a Borderlands with no claptrap anywhere.
Right.
It doesn't show up at all. And it's like that's the best.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that's exactly what I've been wanting. So
yeah.
So I dove back into that. And they also mentioned when this expansion came out, they're working on the next big like campaign expansion. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to be like next year.
Yeah, for sure.
But with that said, let's do a little bit of news. There's not a ton this week. Everyone's waiting for the Game Awards for their big announcements, but this happened like 2 hours ago. Nintendo announced the Paper Mario is coming to the N64 Switch Online expansion on December 10th.
Okay, they're sweetening that pot a little bit. It's not enough for me, but maybe for others.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, they should, sure.
Yep.
But I don't got time to play through Paper Mario, first one. But sure, yeah, keep adding more games. There you go. In weirder news, Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning is getting brand new DLC on December 14th.
That is okay. How often has a game come out, failed, come back out as a remaster, and then got new content for that remaster?
Right? Like, I'm trying to think. Like, there's got to have been so many games have been remastered at this point.
Yeah,
that there has to be a thing where it's like, now we'll support the game again, yada yada. But I'm trying to think. Like, they didn't do it for Mass Effect. They obviously didn't do it for Alan Wake. That wouldn't have made like any sense.
Yeah.
Maybe like a real-time strategy game they did it for. Maybe that remastered edition. I don't know. But it's just so weird. Like, this game, like it like tanked the studio.
Yeah.
Or the studio basically disappeared afterwards with the MMO along with it. And this release must have like sold well enough that they're like, all right, let's keep going with it. Like, this is just a weird story to think about. But
yeah.
This year on December 14th, the journey of the Fateless One continues in Kingdoms of Amalur: Re-Reckoning Fatesworn, which is almost 10 years after the original came out.
Yeah.
Okay, good for them.
Let me they said what you can expect. It's a new storyline, new environment, new enemies, new quests and missions, Chaos Realm dungeons all over Amalur, new skill tree, new weapons and armor, new level cap up to 50, and a new soundtrack by Grant Kirkhope for $20 and 20 euros is what it looks like it's going to be selling for.
Yep.
Weird.
On all platforms. Yeah.
What a weird story.
Such a weird little. I mean, good for them. Like, hey, if you're a Kingdoms of Amalur fan, this must be like pie in the sky, dream come true. Like, this would never have happened. It never has happened as far as I can recall. And here you go. Like, there's a fan out there. There's a Discord out there
blowing up.
Just all caps all week has been all caps. They're just losing their minds. I'm glad for them. I'm so glad for them.
I love this idea that like you like it Kingdoms of Amalur, so like a couple years ago you joined like this fan Discord, and like you don't even have to turn off notifications because nobody talks in it anyways, and then one day you just turn it on and it's just like 100 new messages. What?
Did someone die? Like, what?
Yeah.
That's great.
That is great. I like that.
It's a feel-good story. Here's a less feel-good story.
Yeah.
Respawn tweeted out they're going to be closing sales of Titanfall 1 come March 1st, 2022, which is a ways off.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how many people are buying Titanfall 1 anymore. They said that they are going to be keeping up the servers after that. I can't imagine it's going to be for too much longer.
Right.
Is my guess. That's a bummer. However, they do start this little note off with Titanfall is a part of our DNA at Respawn. So here's me crossing my fingers. I feel like every time they comment about Titanfall, it's always we have nothing planned.
Yeah.
But Titanfall is very dear in our hearts.
So
I have to assume that we will see some kind of Titanfall 3 before I die of natural causes.
Right. Yeah. That you have to for the monkey's paw people, you got to put that caveat in.
Yeah.
What if this is because it's like, the reason for this is because that's when the remastered Titanfall 1 comes out with new DLC.
I don't know, because they've been updating like Titanfall 1 and 2, like at least on Xbox, those things run with like the frames per second boost and all that. So those things are already looking and playing real nicely.
Sure.
But I mean, maybe honestly, like Titanfall is fantastic. I feel like they're kind of doing an approach where it's like Apex is the moneymaker. Let's just keep putting more and more Titanfall stuff into that. And maybe they won't release a Titanfall 3, but they'll release like Apex Chronicles, which is basically the next Titanfall, but under a different name.
I just want everything that they can do with shooters with a cool story, a single player story. That I don't care what name it has on it. I just want them to do, because Titanfall 2 was like, I don't necessarily care that it's about a giant mech thing or whatever. That's part of it, but like it just played so well.
Excuse me, sir. That mech had a name. BT. Excuse you. He has a name, and he was fantastic. What I'm hearing is you need to replay Titanfall 2's campaign.
Yeah.
That story and those characters are great, and you deserve to play that again. You should do yourself a favor and replay Titanfall 2.
That's not the reason to play that game. That game is just mechanically amazing, and I just want another story in that universe.
Dude, that robot, and he's got the gun in his head, and there's
Isn't so Apex good. Part of that universe? They said.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I bet what we'll get is like an Apex Legends branded single player thing that is Titanfall, but just under a different name. That's what I think is what might happen.
I'm down. Why not?
Yeah. And hey, just side thing, that Star Wars game is good. So
which one did they do again?
They did
I can't remember the titles.
Why am I blank? The redheaded guy.
Yeah.
With the
All in Order.
I'm All in Order.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good one.
That's a great Star Wars game. They already said they're working on a sequel to that, so.
Yeah, no, they're killing it for sure.
Report out of Business Insider saying that the Xbox Series S was the best-selling console over the Black Friday sales and whatnot.
Okay, that's the cheaper one, right?
That's the cheaper one. That's the white one, the small little one. Even outselling the Switch and Switch OLED. Probably a lot of factors in here. It's the cheaper one.
Yep.
It's a really great price point to get into current gen gaming. It's also probably the easiest console to find on a shelf.
That definitely helps. I've been considering getting one of these just to have like an easy Game Pass thing for the living room, because doing computer stuff
honestly,
is annoying.
You should. Have you ever seen one in person?
One of these? No, I haven't.
It's almost the size of like a Wii. They're tiny. It's like 3 DVDs stacked on top of each other. It's a small little box. It's cute. It's downright cute.
That's pretty great.
It's a deal. As a great Game Pass machine, and like it doesn't do Series X graphics, but it does better than like Xbox One graphics. Like it is a great deal. Like good on Microsoft for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Rubin tweeted, and for those who don't know Jason Rubin, he works over at Facebook on their VR team, that Resident Evil 4 was the fastest selling app in the history of Quest.
Not surprising. Yep.
Not surprising either.
Yep. It deserves it too. That thing is phenomenal.
Good for them, yeah. Have you tried out any other VR stuff lately?
Oh, yeah, I have. I started up Alex, and I was just like, this is fucking amazing in a way that I don't have time for right now. So I'm excited to get back to it. But even that intro, I was just like looking around and stuff and just like, oh, this is actually special. Like, I got to save time for this.
Right on.
Yeah, that thing is very cool.
And last one, this is just rumors, but I was seeing so many of these over the weekend. The next upcoming big PlayStation remake is reportedly Square Enix's Chrono Cross.
Man, I wish John was here to give his opinion on this, because he played that like just a couple months ago, right? He played through Chrono Cross like recently,
Okay.
and I've only ever like seen it once back when it came out, essentially.
Yeah, I know very little about Chrono Cross. I've obviously played Chrono Trigger, but I would probably play this because I really like Final Fantasy VII Remake. Um,
Yeah,
and I have no knowledge of this one, and this is always kind of the weird dark horse.
yeah,
Uh, that obviously kind of lives in Trigger's shadow.
yeah. This I do know that the people that like play through it or like it like love it a lot, though. It has a huge cult following, so cool for them if this is a thing.
Yeah, nothing officially announced, but I just saw this continually popping up, so it seems pretty likely.
Yeah.
That's going to do it for news. Let's do some of these questions. People have questions, they can send them to top down perspective at gmail.com, at TDP podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. As a reminder, anything you send to John's P.O. Box, we will read for sure. Unless it's
Right.
offensive, then stop wasting your time.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I can read this first one from Matthew, who says, "Congratulations, you have been elected to the title of King of the World. You have free access to everything the world has to offer, get to create and enforce any rules or laws you want, and everyone has to do what you say. However, there's a catch. If your global approval falls below 30%, Jimmy and Tommy will come pick you up in the party van, outfit you for some new shoes, and take you swimming in a deep lake."
Oh, fuck.
No, this is a bad thing.
That got
Yeah,
real.
we got that. What do you do to keep the party van from coming to visit? Be aware that King of the World is a role for life. Only death or party van will let you give up your title, which I feel like are one and the same, if I'm understanding exactly what happens if you get picked up by the party van. Also, actively manipulating the approval polls or interfering with Jimmy and Tommy's job will get you instantly put in the van regardless of your approval. So you can't just like try and sidestep it. You need those ratings.
Fuck. I think I'm just dead. That's like actually impossible.
I mean, 30% is pretty low. You'd have to be like screwing up quite a bit for 70% of people to start disliking you, right?
Nah, you just have to have any opinion on anything. So the first thing is I get rid of every social media and I just don't exist online anymore.
Okay. So that's preventative to go down. It's not going to get you to go up.
Right. That's just preventing the stuff. I just no longer exist. I'm no longer easily accessible, and my ideas or opinions are no longer out there ever. Now to go up.
This is hard because every time I think of things that like I would like to see in the world, it's like there's going to be a portion of people that get very upset. Like I think, for example, I start taxing the rich. Then I think, how many like fingers do these rich
Yeah.
fucks have their hands in,
Yeah.
where those approval ratings are going to start going down for me? And I got to weigh the odds of like, there's a lot less rich people than there are common people. I think I could take the hit on that one, right?
What if we eat the rich?
Okay, we could eat we can't eat Jimmy and Tommy.
Are
That
they
would be
rich?
interfering with them. I don't know. I'm just putting that out there. We cannot eat those two.
I'm guessing if they're the kind of guys to come pick you up and give you some cement sneakers, they ain't doing too well monetarily.
I would assume if that's their job. I mean, theoretically, they could be some kind of just like otherworld being where they exist
True.
just to do this.
They probably have tenure. Yep, probably.
I think I could tax the rich, and my approval ratings would still be above 30%. because there's more. Even though I was just taxing the 1%, that's 99% of people are still happy with me. Theoretically getting a cut in their taxes because the 1% is now paying for that.
Right. Until that 1% starts cutting jobs and saying that this is because of you,
saying,
and then
we're cutting your
out.
job because Sean over here is making it more expensive for me to do this. That's what I'm saying, is how sticky is that web? How far wide does it go, or the approval rating would drop enough? Another one, what if I put it like a ban on what if I like super enforced gun control?
Oh, that's a bad one too. You're going to lose a lot of people.
More than I'm going to gain?
I don't know.
That's the thing, is like a lot of the things. Am I just dealing with a vocal minority, or is this vocal minority actually bigger than I realized?
So I have an answer. It's really dark. You have to kill everybody that is just like against you in any way. You have to get rid of them. It's the only way.
I feel so you're going to like rule with an iron fist.
I think if you want that approval rating, I think you have to.
I don't think you would get the. I don't think that would work. So anyone that's against you that would vote no on you, you're going to kill. Meaning everyone would have to vote yes. Correct? So you're setting up a surveillance state at this point.
Yeah, I think you are.
So then the question becomes, for these polls, how like truly anonymous and secure are they?
Yeah.
Because you have to hope that everyone who goes into the polls does vote because they're scared enough, or do they think if we all hit no really fast and it takes 1 second, then he'll just be removed immediately and they can't get me?
Yeah. I think even if you wipe out a lot of people, you're still risking it though. Like, that's the thing, is that I don't know how you keep the global. When it's global, it's harder because you have people that don't agree with like our way of life, and those people are in the like trillions.
It's almost like there shouldn't be a king of the world.
Right. It seems like a really bad idea.
Ruled by a committee.
Yeah.
Almost like a united nation.
Almost like if the nation's united or something. Maybe puts together some treaties. Maybe even put like a bunch of soldiers together from different nations to help each other out. No, that'll never work.
Yeah, I don't know. That would be slippery too, because then you just run into like, where do I send the soldiers?
Yeah.
I think I might defund the military a bit and put that money to better use. That seems like a good idea.
I mean, so here's the thing, is that I think if you were given enough time, there's kind of not like a time limit on this either. If you were given enough time and you showed results for what you're doing, I think even people that like were on the fence or weren't liking you would come around when they see that like things are better for them. But some of those changes like won't be fast. So like, how long do you need this approval rating or whatever?
What's interesting is you have free access to everything. So theoretically, like, money's not an issue for getting something done.
Yeah.
I'm wondering though, is this like a Dr. Manhattan scenario where I can create anything I need, or do I need to keep like the world's economy? And like, if I'm going to be like, well, I need a bunch of money right now, do I need to find those funds, or can I just be like, I have that money and it appears out of nowhere?
I see. Style. Because if that was the case, then you could actually get rid of all nations, because we're all in the world nation now, and you could like develop whatever government you want and give handouts to whoever needs it or wants it.
Exactly. So instead of it being something like, oh, I need to tax the rich and then I'm going to get all these approval ratings from like the poor, it's like, no, whatever, you can keep your money. I'll just make money.
Right.
Out of the, I don't know, space dust, however Dr. Manhattan does it, and then just give it. But then you get a bunch of lower approval from the rich people because they're like, well, how come I didn't get that money? I don't like, if you're going to give it to them, you should give it to me. And it's like, well, I give it to you too. And if I give money to everybody, it's like I gave money to nobody, because then prices just go up. And it's like, it's almost like there shouldn't be a ruler of the world.
Right.
It's almost like I'm tired of these people and their problems, and I should go live on Mars.
I mean, I have nothing more to add to that. Next question from Hiave. I'm sorry. Salutations. So this person also wrote in a part of a question that says don't read until 2028, and I'm pretty sure that was a joke, but I'm not doing it because you told me not to. So there we go.
Well, it's because last week we were talking about aging questions.
Yeah, but I don't know if like he actually had a like I literally didn't even read it. I deleted it.
I didn't read it either, and I can't promise we're gonna remember in 7 years.
So like if there was something important you wanted to know in there, just write in again because
if someone's listening to this podcast in 2028, send in a reminder for us to go through the emails and check. This is the date, so we have a bit of a ballpark.
Yeah, December 2nd. Right in. Anyways, there was a second part to that question that was for now. And they say, salutations. Fast food restaurants tend to have region-specific menu items. For example, McDonald's has fried chicken, original and spicy in some regions, which I prefer over KFC, Texas chicken, etc. What region-specific fast food items do you like or wished you had? I have an easy answer to this, first of all, and it's McDonald's, like everywhere else, basically has at least one item that I think just tastes better because they use like real spices and stuff, which they don't here. We use a lot of grease and stuff, but I really like the ebi or the shrimp patty from Japan because I like seafood and shrimp, and it tastes like a little more rich than the fillet of fish.
You know, I don't think I've ever had fast food fish, which just sounds like a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
I know East Coast Canada has the McLobster.
I've wanted to try that, yeah.
I didn't try that. I'm not a big lobster or crab fan, but I remember seeing signs for that and thinking, that's funny.
Yeah.
I know a lot of the McFlurry flavors change in different regions. Like in Europe, they have that terrible salted black licorice McFlurry, which I tried that one, and it's just as bad as salted black licorice.
Oh, I think it was even this week, coincidentally enough. There was a chain I saw that came across my feed on Twitter somehow, where somebody was like petitioned to get McDonald's to start serving soup. And another person was like, y'all's McDonald's doesn't have soup, and they have like their menu in like Portuguese or something, and there's a whole bunch of like McDonald's soups, and I found that interesting.
Sure. Yeah. There's McDonald's that have pizzas and stuff. Here's the thing though. I don't think there's anything you could put on the McDonald's menu where I'd be like, I'm gonna go to McDonald's now for that.
For that.
If you put the McDonald's name on it, I'm probably not going to eat it. I'll go somewhere else. I don't care.
Sure.
Yeah, I feel like I typically trying to think if there's even like a fast food chain that I go to enough where I would even spot the regional difference, because I pretty much only really go to like Subway is like my only kind of fast food one. I guess what's more interesting is there's like specific fast food chains in different regions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely in the States specifically.
Definitely in the States for sure.
Yeah.
So when I'm in different areas, like, oh, I want to try this one because, you know, we don't have like White Castle or whatever on the West Coast. I actually haven't had a White Castle, but you know, if you come to California, you got to go to In-N-Out Burger. That's like the thing to do, for example. So
yeah, I guess our region specific thing in Canada is you can get poutine anywhere that sells fries, basically.
Can you get poutine at McDonald's?
Oh yeah, you can get poutine at McDonald's. Actually, I think the only one you can't is Wendy's. No, you can get poutine at Wendy's. Never mind.
I was gonna say I would have assumed you could do it at Wendy's because Wendy's has like chili and shit like that.
You can get like the chili cheese fries as well. You can get whatever.
I don't think I've ever had poutine. I think about it. You guys have Tim Hortons. We don't have Tim Hortons down here.
You can't get poutine at Tim Hortons.
Oh, you can't? I thought you could.
You
I
can
guess
get,
that would be weird though. Fries at Tim Hortons? Yeah,
they don't have fries. They have potato wedges. I've never asked them if they could put gravy and cheese on it, to be fair, so I don't know.
Well, now I'm thinking about it. Like, well, because Tim Hortons is typically breakfast, but no, they have lunch stuff too. So
they have lunch.
They must have. I would assume they have gravy. I bet you could get poutine at a Tim Hortons.
If you know the right people.
At least one out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might have to bring your own gravy, but they'll heat it up for you.
Yeah. Pocket gravy.
Kevin writes in, "What's the most groundbreaking game of all time?"
Oh, Tetris.
Yeah, Tetris. Can you think of a game that's not like so early on that every game that came out was groundbreaking?
I mean, Minecraft was extremely groundbreaking for a bunch of reasons.
I think you got him one. It's probably Minecraft.
I think that's a big one.
Minecraft's a huge one. Yeah, because I feel like it's almost cheating if you pick Tetris or you pick like Mario because they're like such universal firsts that of course they'd be groundbreaking. Minecraft, that's a really good answer. Would you say Fortnite's groundbreaking?
No, because PUBG was actually the one that broke ground for Fortnite, but Fortnite popularized it.
I mean, you're right for like Battle Royale,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like in terms of like transmedia,
Oh, I
like
see.
Fortnite is just by default groundbreaking every second month.
It has Ariana Grande in it.
Yeah, like just the new weird shit they're doing. Like in fact, I think isn't it in like
Tomorrow.
2 days they're
Oh,
turning it
2 days.
off?
Yeah.
The
Well,
fourth, they're like, or no,
the end.
season 2 is ending, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
There you go. I think Minecraft's like the answer. That's a great one.
Yeah. Minecraft is very groundbreaking for a lot of reasons. Dead writes in, the movie industry has a tendency of hyperbolizing video game concepts and turning them into movies. What's the most mundane game concept you want turned into a high-octane movie? For example, a wandering traveler has unearthed the lost pyramids of Neogaff, but needs to escape before they crumble due to a sudden DDoS attack from a mysterious villain.
Yeah, the unearthed pyramids of Neogath, just a bunch of racist carvings on the wall, I guess, at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Whoever lived in this period was an asshole. That's a weird one. So there in this example, the video game concept is video game message board.
I guess so, yeah.
It's kind of a weird one. And that just makes me think of like because we've had like the social network. I don't know, Discord, the movie.
I guess the concept is more just like something being taken down by like a DDoS, like a community driven thing being taken down by like a hacker, essentially.
Oh, okay. So that's the video game tie-in, you think?
I mean, I think the most mundane gaming concept that has been made into documentaries and like somewhat movies is coding, right? Games are made by people sitting there and just typing in a bunch of numbers and then clicking around to make sure it works.
I would think it would be hard to make Tetris into an action movie. I don't know how you would do that.
Didn't Pixels have a Tetris moment? I can't remember.
I haven't seen Pixels, proudly.
All right.
So I don't know.
Listen, watch out for our TVP episode where we discuss Pixels, apparently. That's
a Patreon funding goal. I don't want to watch Pixels if I don't have to.
I don't want to watch it again.
There's a good one in the chat. A movie about a group of co-op players never all being able to play on the same day. That's a good one.
That's really good. Yeah.
I don't have a better answer than that. Thank you.
I don't either.
Comet Strider.
That's a good one.
Oko writes, what's your favorite tooltip or bit of inconsequential text in a video game? I really like the tooltip for Combust 2 in Final Fantasy XIV, which reads, the presence of a theoretical sun is causing damage over time, which is absolute word salad, and I love it.
Theoretical sun.
I remember correctly, Disc Room has a bunch of funny ones. Let me load it up real quick.
Yeah, I can't think of anything off the top of my head right now. Like funny tooltips. Or, I don't know, favorite tooltips.
Didn't you just play through Shadows of the Damned again? Are there any like funny weapon descriptions in that, if you can remember?
I don't remember. Unless like you just the whole like hot boner is the name of his gun. I don't know that that's a tool tip necessarily. Theoretical sun sounds like a baseball concept. Yeah, I don't really have
Here's
anything.
one. So they have descriptions for each of the different type of like buzz saws that you'll be in. This buzzsaw called the Dasher, which I believe is the ones that go slow and then they can like dart forward at
Okay.
sporadic moments. Here's the description of it. It's as though this disc just altered me on a molecular level. I can now phase my existence in and out of its physical form. Why do these rooms prescribe my survival?
That is word salad. Yeah, I don't really have anything.
Here's one for the Hunter.
Okay.
These discs are not inanimate. They are entities. My dying seems to speak their language.
All right.
I like that one quite a bit.
Phantom Aegis. Hello, TDP crew. Many franchises celebrating milestones such as Zelda 35th, Metroid 35th, Halo 20th, etc. What franchise had the best celebration for this year, 2021?
So Zelda's celebration was that Game and Watch of Zelda 1, right?
And like arguably
And
the Skyward Sword thing. Re-release. At least they kind of bundled those announcements together.
I don't remember Metroid doing anything.
I mean, the fact that we got a good Metroid is neat, but yeah, it wasn't like official.
I don't remember it being like, and for Metroid's 35th anniversary, here's Dread.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it's, and this is almost cheating. I feel like it's Halo's because Microsoft tied that to the Xbox One. So we got a bunch of Xbox stuff tied to the anniversary since they were like connected. We got that fun little like museum, interactive museum that they put together. They came out with custom controllers and colors and themes around the anniversary. So I think that's my vote.
Sure. I'm seeing
Again,
if there's
kind of cheating.
Seeing if there's anything else we I don't know. Like, yeah, I like Metroid Dread, so that's my answer, I guess.
Right. Suka writes, with all the controversies around NFTs, I was wondering what would a game based around NFTs look like in a similar vein to DLC Quest and Achievement Unlocked. There are already NFT video games.
I mean, there's video games that utilize NFTs. I think he's talking about like a game parodying what, like, and because DLC Quest doesn't have like DLC in it. It's like you can't play the game until you buy the in-game DLC to open up parts, like a satire.
Trying to see what the big one I've heard of. Deluvium? Oh, I can't remember. I was listening to a podcast that was discussing them, but there are already NFT games. And for the most part, they just look like typical games, whatever genre they're part of, but they all use the phrase play to earn model.
Yeah, I mean, if we're going with that route, that is like using NFTs in a game, it's just any free-to-play gacha game. Only when you open a chest, you own that version of the thing that you unlocked in an NFT, and you can sell it to other people.
Yeah, that's kind of how the way it is for the most part. And it's, they're not regulated well, and I always just think about like the Diablo 3 marketplace when that first launched and how much of a shit show that was.
Yeah. VGC Kenny, with Pokemon Legends Arceus seeming to take place during the Tokugawa shogunate period, what other time periods would you like to see or set a Pokemon game in? Let's go for the easy one. Prehistoric period. Just basically a Jurassic Park Pokemon. A bunch of dinos.
Yeah, I saw that one actually pop up in the Discord chat when this question got asked.
Oh, really?
And they
Yeah.
added they added onto that one because there's all the fossil Pokemon, so you would see what they looked like
Oh, yeah, just hanging
kind of
out.
before they were fossilized and then I guess reanimated. And I think that'd be really cool if they had like like fur and shit on them, and or as opposed to kind of what the recreation is like, as if the recreation wasn't one to one of what they actually used to look like. I think that'd be a super cool one for sure.
Wild West is a dope answer from the chat. That would be neat.
Pokemon Wild West.
You would get like a lot of armadillos, I think, though. A tumbleweed Pokemon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So would you be like riding a horse or some other kind of Pokemon from town to town?
Yeah, you would have like Rotom or whatever that like mechanical Pokemon is as like a player piano, like a steampunky
Sure.
player piano.
Yep. Yep. I think that's another one. Steampunk is just an easy one.
Yeah.
For sure. They kind of already did Samurai when they did the crossover for the Tactics game. They had all the
Yeah.
Pokemon in like fun samurai outfits and whatnot.
I'd love to see one set in like a really early like Aztec or Mexican thing. Just weird. Their weird like crazy lore and all that sort of thing could be neat.
I feel like they've kind of done that because there's a lot of like ruins in Pokemon games. And then I want to say specifically Sun and Moon, because since it was all Hawaii based, thought there was a bunch of that kind of stuff maybe there. But I might be misremembering. It's been a while since I played Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
TC Golden writes, what is your guys' comfort game, if you have any? Like the go-to game you play when you want to play games but don't want to play anything new? For me personally, it's Skyrim.
It's Picross and Resident Evil.
Mine is Apex.
Yeah.
And Halo Infinite's also kind of becoming that. Just I can just turn my head off, my mind off, and just run around shooting people.
Yeah, makes sense. Final question from Gutang Clan. When do you complete your Christmas shopping? One, before December 1st. Two, more than a week before Christmas. Three, holy shit, Christmas is tomorrow. What stores are still open?
I was gonna say I usually get a bunch of it done on Black Friday weekend.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of wait for that to see if there's any sales just to save some money.
Sure.
So I would have said before December 1st, but there is still one gift I haven't gotten yet for someone, so I guess I can't say that. But like I just need to kind of go on Amazon at this point. So it's usually before December 1st for me.
Yeah, I would say the same. There's actually only one person currently I buy gifts for, and when I think of like the thing that I want to get her, I get it, and then I just hide it or keep it somewhere out of reach. My family, we kind of made a deal a few years back where our family doesn't do gift exchanging or anything like that. We just kind of get together, have a nice weekend or whatever. We don't have to worry about money and buying each other anything or any of that sort of thing. Stores.
Yeah, when it comes to my family, since they're across the border, it's always so much easier for me to just order something on Amazon.ca to be shipped up there, as opposed to me having to put it in my bag and carry all these presents up. So I can kind of do it at any time. It's not a huge deal.
Yeah, makes sense.
That's going to do it for questions. Again, if you want to send in questions, topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. And Paul, what is your game of the week?
I mean, probably Guardians, I would say.
And mine is Death's Door.
Nice.
So some things to look out for. Our Good Life episode went up earlier this week. So if you're curious about the three of our thoughts on the video game The Good Life, you can go check that out. As mentioned, this Monday will be the Christmas special for TVP. So watch those movies, or if you don't care about being spoiled or you already have watched them, look forward to that. Next week on Thursday is the Game Awards, so we will not be doing a regular show, but things are being planned for something else. So stay tuned for that. And if you are watching the Game Awards, swing by our Discord. We'll be in the live events section. A few of us chatting about what we're watching and seeing and getting excited for. So if that sounds fun, come on in and join us in. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next week.
See ya.